emergency room and halls of a hospital, you get a glimpse of how much some people unwillingly suffer. You see people crowded around wanting to know what that mystery diagnosis of their family member screaming in pain is. You see little children fighting with something that is so much bigger than them. You see people with dark circles underneath their eyes and pale faces because they've stayed awake with their sick loved one. And the whole atmosphere just makes you so grateful for your own health. And so I ask you, why would you, with your own bare hands, willingly put your life at a stake? Data from the World Health Organization suggests that there were 250,000 deaths worldwide due to illicit drug use in 2004. This does not include alcohol, tobacco, or overdose on clinical drugs. So, some people allow their bodies to get addicted to these drugs, in which causes a great detrimental effect to the body, and this is caused by an overdose of chemicals into the brain, causing abnormalities inside and outside of the body. Before I start with anything, I want you guys to understand exactly how the nervous system plays a huge role in drugs. The nervous system is basically like when you're hungry, your stomach is growling, but your brain doesn't know it yet. So the nervous system from the stomach will send up neurotransmitters into the brain and will tell your brain, hey, you're hungry. So now your brain is getting messengers, just another name for neurotransmitters. Your brain is getting, hey, you're hungry. And so now you know, hey, I'm hungry, let me go eat. So now your stomach and brain are working together to go get some food. So that is how the nervous system works. Now you have tons of neurotransmitters in your brain, sending you different messages. You have ones that are making you happy, ones that are making you sad, ones that are just playing with your emotions. So they're all over the place. Let me give you an example. Dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter produced by the body. And dopamine is a pleasure neurotransmitter. It's the feeling you get before you give a big speech, or it's the feeling you get when you're talking to Prince Charming, or, you know, that really high, good feeling you get. And your body, like I said, naturally produces this. But when you start taking outside sources of dopamine from drugs can give you excess dopamine levels. You're putting all that excess into your brain, and your brain is like, hey, I already got this stuff in my brain, like, leave me alone. So it starts, relying on outside source, and is like, I'm not going to produce this by myself anymore. I'm just going to rely on that outside source. So your brain gets lazy, doesn't want to produce the dopamine levels anymore, and relies on that outside source. And that is when you become addicted. This is how somebody gets addicted to drugs, because they now are relying on that outside source. Now, the more and more and more drugs you take, the more and more and more abnormalities you get in your body. So, people that become victims to drugs the drugs are now taking a whole new toll into their body and playing a huge impact on their internal and external body. So before I actually get into what's occurring in the body, I want you guys to understand three things. The three categories that all drugs fall into, and that's stimulants, depressants, and hallucinogens. Stimulants are just the neurotransmitters that speed up everything. They make you feel good. They make you feel on top of the world. They make you feel a feeling of supremacy. Depressants, however, are completely the opposite. They make you feel slow down your heart rate, slow down your breathing, and such stuff. Hallucinogens are ones that change your perception of reality. They make you see things, feel things, and hear things that are not actually there. So, I'm going to give you three examples of each and what they do to your body. First one is meth. Meth has a huge role on your body, and data from Dr. Perez says, being addicted to methamphetamine, chronic abusers exhibit symptoms that can include anxiety, confusion, insomnia, mood disturbances, and violent behavior. They also can display a number of psychotic features, including paranoia, visual and auditory hallucinations, and delusions. For example, the sensation of insects creeping up into your skin. That would fall into the criteria of hallucinogen, because you're feeling things that are not actually there. The next one would be cocaine. Common, right? It's one that makes you feel like you're on top of the world. You're feeling great. It's a good feeling, I guess, cocaine gives you. And this would play with, you're more inclined to get a stroke if you take it, and has terrible effects on your body. Morphine is one that you would hear about getting in the hospital, painkiller, right? It slows you down. It makes you feel druggy, drowsy, and it could put you in a coma and can kill you if you take too much. And that would be a depressant. So cocaine would be a stimulant, and morphine would be a depressant. Now, they are studying so many things that each drug does something different, and they're continuing to study. I love what Katie said the other day, that even though a corpse is silent, they speak out so much. And now today scientists are able to use this corpse in figuring out diseases that happen internally. So people all around the world are continuing to suffer because of drug abuse. And so I want to ask you, after seeing all the things that these drugs do to you and how they affect you, would you be willing to put your life at stake because of your foolish purposes? I hope that you are able to say no to drugs and live above that influence.